Hello, hello. Welcome in. Just realized I started later, so I don't need to be on mute. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Hi. Hey, Jace. Hey, Jacoba. Hey, Hunter. Hey, P-Dips. Welcome. I'm gonna play the trailer in a minute, but yeah. It's not, weirdly enough. We give it, what, a couple minutes? Couple more minutes. And then I'll play the trailer for the movie that we watched the other day. Yeah. Three Colors Blue, first movie in a trilogy. That was the plan. Yeah. But yeah, 25. That's a wonderful streak. Thank you so much. Very impressive. And Fruitcake is impressed and full of love. Can you hear me smiling? Can you hear it? Sorry, my microphone's like all over the place. I need to tighten it. Can't be bothered though. Very saucy streak. Well done. Not to mention, you attended movie night. I feel like you should get extra points for that. We should have like a movie night badge for people who actually turn up. Like a signifier. Because we do watch them on the Discord. It's usually around now on a night. But yeah. Okay, bye, Jess. It was good to see you. Ah, okay. We'll have a look into that. I don't know. We don't need to. Just people who've attended, but Hunter and Dakota were there. And yeah, sure, I'm down for that. But obviously anyone is welcome to discuss the movie of choice, which was voted for. It ended up being a dead heat between this and Magic Mike. And everyone chose the depressing French movie. Yeah, sure, I am down for that. Welcome in. I am drinking wine. Right, okay. Cavalry's here. Let's watch the trailer. So it was at the Venice Film Festival and is very blue.
Vous montrez quelque chose de ce que vous avez composé sur les violons?
Yeah, it's French and I'm drinking wine and feeling miserable.
Et maintenant,
Young audio. Music style.
Attends, peut-être plus léger, sans les percussions. Si on retire les trompettes. Non, on en garde une.
I gotta say, it's way more compelling than the trailer.
Piano sul tasto. Au lieu du piano.
une flûte.
On reprend où là?
Bleh. "1993, dudes. Making you feel old." Hello. Welcome, everybody. They misspelled it, or am I misspelling it? I guess is the big question. Hey, yes. I panicked and needed to find something blue to wear, so I'm wearing my dinosaur jumper, which you may or may not have seen on the old Discord. It's the bluest thing I could find. So yeah, I'm actually sweating. But yeah, yes. The one thing about these movie streams is that the camera is a lot of face. I'm giving a lot of face. But yeah, that trailer made the movie like if the thing is, right, the trailer, what the trailer just did there was it gave you a basic situation. It didn't say what happened, but the basic plot of the movie is that Juliette, I can never say her name. Juliette Binoche? Juliette. I'm going to call her Juliette. She's a great actress. Her husband dies in a car accident. Yeah, it just didn't tell the plot at all. Her husband dies in a car accident along with her only daughter. And she is trying to obviously move on with her life from this big incident. She does it in a very French way. Yes, you're very sonic. But yeah, in that trailer, it touched on certain plot points. So it basically mainly her face and the fact that her husband was a composer and she was kind of felt there's an obligation, but there's also like he left an unfinished concerto about the unity of Europe. We had a big debate about this on the Discord channel when we were watching the movie going, wait, when did the European Union start? Like, because this was made in 93, well, it was filmed in 92 and released in 93. And then it was like me going into my history brain going, it wasn't a debate, it was a discussion, lively discussion about like when was the Maastricht Treaty. I was right. I knew about the treaty. And, you know, the European Union started being formed in 92, you know, once they gotten over the Berlin Wall and everything. And I don't think I was wrong. I think what I said was very accurate. I was vague about it. Hello, Hobbit. Welcome in. We're talking about a French movie. So the movie is Bleu, and it's part one of a trilogy. It's written and directed by a Polish director, but it's about yeah. So the other two colors. So keep in right. The other two colors. This is gonna blow your mind because it's a French movie, but the other two colors are white and red. Yeah, it's definitely got color. But no, because the Dutch flag's the other way around. Okay. So lots of European flags look the same. No, you feel free to stick around. Let's talk about it. It's because right. So the movie. So the theme this month was the first movie in a trilogy, which you may or may not have seen. Right. No, stop it. It's the tricolore. It's the French flag that was the flag that was brought in the Revolution. Okay, and the three movies in this trilogy, directed and written by a Polish guy about They're very French. I don't think they are actually all French. They must be though. There's Julie Delpy's in them. Anyway, they're all French and they kind of overlap. And so this trilogy is about the ideals of the Revolution and the Tricolore. I keep saying it. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm so sorry. But yeah, so the three colours, so there's blue, white, and red, and the colours all represent an ideal from the French Revolution. So the first is liberté, equalité, fraternité. So freedom, equality, and brotherhood. Those are the three ideals. Or I guess fraternity is more. It's not just brotherhood. It's like, yeah, familialhood. Like everybody getting along. I think Marie Antoinette told them to eat cake. There's a lot of stuff on that. But yeah, so the tricolor was the flag that the French now use. It was invented during the French Revolution. It was the flag of the Parisian revolutionaries. Why am I going so deep into this? It's just shit I know. And yeah, it represented these three ideals. And this trilogy of movies each movie is supposed to represent one of those ideals. So the second movie is white and it represents equality. And I'll tell you about it later, but it's weird. And then the third movie is fraternity, which is red. So it's blue, white, and red, ideals of the revolution, and it's supposed to represent all of these things. Anyway, so this movie is bleu. Yeah, so it depends. I guess it's like your interpretation, because the movie, like the trailer just now, was made it seem a lot more dramatic than it was. I'm not gonna lie, it's artsy fartsy as shit, dudes. It's very slow. It's very gentle, and it deals with very deep emotions. And Juliet, the main character, barely even moves her face. she expresses a lot through just staring at people. It's very impressive. She's a brilliant actress. So basically, the movie is about freedom, liberty. She's very ennuyé. She's very depressed. So yeah, as I said, the movie is about liberty. When you take that into consideration, I did start describing the plot of the film. So the basics of the film is, it's not really a spoiler, but in the first 5 minutes of the movie, there's a car accident, and her husband and her daughter are killed, and it was until it hit the tree. It was an Alfa Romeo that they were driving in. For those who need to know, in 1992, not safe. And the idea of the movie is that the protagonist is kind of free from the social, not really social, more like, well, I guess social, but I don't know. It's kind of, she's free from any emotional connections to people. She basically wants to, like, she's working through some stuff. There was a skater boy that saw it happen, yeah. And like, this is the thing, because it's French and because it's like arty farty, she never explicitly says anything about her intentions or what she wants to do. She just does them, and she just, goes about her business. And you're obviously supposed to be an observer in this moment in her life when she's trying to rebuild and find her direction now that she is effectively alone in the world. And the basic plot of the movie is, like, her husband was a composer, and this is why I ended up going on about Europe. He was composing a melody, a concerto, which would be used for something to do with European Union. I don't know, but he's composing something which is about unity of the European Union, and it's very operatic, and it's an unfinished concerto. And in the trailer, you kind of see her talking about obviously finishing it, because she may or may not have had more influence than initially expected. So she's kind of like trying to she doesn't want to finish it. She goes and gets the concerto and then chucks it in the bin. But like, and then she kind of ends up like realizing through the course of the movie and through her actions and the various kind of NPCs that she comes across, that it doesn't matter how free you think you are, you can never be free from making an impact and having connections with people. She tries to isolate herself and hide because she feels like her whole life has kind of been turned upside down, and she's alone, and she wants to kind of embrace this isolation and freedom, which is kind of like the theme of the movie. But again, as we've kind of said previously, it's kind of like a negative thing. It doesn't really work. And, she effectively kind of comes to realize that it's not something that you can really do. And she's such a kind of, I wouldn't say she's like a blank slate, but like I say, she never expresses her emotions. Yeah. The kid tries to be an emotionless android. Yeah. So she tries to just suppress. She never goes to therapy. She never talks to anyone. She's keeping it all very locked and loaded. She doesn't have, there's no, like, she doesn't go to the funeral. She doesn't talk to the, she hasn't got parents. There's no like grandparents. There's nobody. Like, she's very much on her own, and she's just kind of like trying to strip herself of this moment in her life. She's trying to like find freedom from what, the loss has kind of given her a freedom to start afresh, start new. But then she's just kind of like, you never really know what she wants. She doesn't have a job. She doesn't do anything. She just gets a really, really nice apartment. Is it nice? Is the apartment nice? What did we think about the apartment? The like the windows, like every like Parisian architecture, them windows. Yeah, that's a really good line. She goes to the house that they lived in, and she finds the maid, or the, and and yeah, she's the maid's like, I'm crying because you're not crying. I'm upset. It's very nice. It's very like, yeah, yeah. I imagine Paris didn't look that nice in the 90s, but then again, it's very picturesque. It's very, like I say, she's got plenty of money, so she gets a decent apartment. But it is on a street where people are getting drunk outside and carousing. And she's got a really nice coffee shop that she goes to, and she pours her coffee on her ice cream, and it's so, yeah, living her best life. And she goes swimming a lot, as you can see on this little picture down here that I've got. And then that's just like the main kind of, this one over here. I'm trying to point it, but I can't. This one, no, right, never mind. You can see her. That's pretty much her face throughout the movie, and that's pretty much the cover of it. And there's, yeah, all apart from the mice. she does have mice in her apartment. Apart from that. Anyway, when it's it won the Golden Lion at the Venice Film Festival, which is like one of the big awards at the Venice Film Festival. And I found out while I was researching, that the creepy guy that looks like a kind of squished. What did we keep saying he looked like? He looked like Father Dougal. I thought he looked like a cross between David Thewlis and Gerard Depardieu, but Father Dougal. He apparently died like the year after the film was released. So that's weird. Yeah, there is a freedom because she sells the very fancy. Well, she doesn't sell it in the end, does she? There is a financial. Well, let's not lie. She's part of the bourgeoisie. She's a rich lady whose husband is a composer. Hi. Welcome in. We're talking about three colors blue. Just called Juliet's character bourgeoisie. I'm gonna drink some more. No, that's okay. I'm sorry, I don't know Russian, but if I am talking too fast. Yeah, Krzysztof Kiełowski is the director. He's Polish. But yeah, I don't know why he specifically made a movie about the French yeah, French flag. But he's the director himself. Well, he's like he's famously a pessimist, is the director. So if you're getting that vibe, there is a reason. There is a reason for that. He's famously he's like intellectual, and he's like agnostic, and he's very like he's just pessimistic. His whole kind of vibe is very, yeah, that's all I can think of. Like, you know, smart people who are just depressed. Like, the smarter you get, and then you're like, you're just like, ugh. No, cool. I can keep talking. I don't know how my accent is, but you're more than welcome to sit and listen to me talk. I do talk a lot. So if it helps. We were talking about a movie. So yeah. But yeah, so it's yeah. It's definitely, there's P-Dubs was talking about The Double Life of Veronique, which was the movie that he did before this movie. I don't know if that one's French. It's Polish, which makes sense because he is Polish. But that is also a well received movie, yeah. I think that's a really fair point. I think that's what's interesting about the film. And that's what I find quite interesting, because obviously I guess it's art. So it's like, it's supposed to make you think and come to your own conclusions. And I think ultimately, I guess we can get into a little bit of spoilers. She she tries to cut herself off from everyone and finds that she makes connections and can't abandon the person that she is, I guess. She's just not able to be alone in the world. She's not able to disconnect. And I think the freedom that she was trying to find was, I guess, because she lost the people that she loved, and she finds out that her husband was having an affair for a couple of years with like a barrister, a lawyer. And she finds out that and I don't know if is the guy, I thought he was the husband's brother, but I think he's just an associate who worked with them. She sleeps with him, she has sex with him, and then just tries to like ghost him in the most, yeah, she just sells the house and leaves and goes, I am never seeing you again. And he's just like, come again. So he just tries to find her. And then he draws it out, gets a copy of the concerto, and starts working on it and says it on the TV. And she just happens to be in a strip club in the middle of the night and sees the interview with him, even though she's on a balcony and the TV is like a million miles away, and she hears perfectly that he intends to finish her husband's concerto. So then he planned all that so that she'd come and find him and reconnect with him, which is stupid. I didn't like that. I was like, dude, just leave her alone. Leave her alone. But anyway, they finish the concerto together and then they have sex against a fish tank. As you do. And yeah, apparently they're in love and she's moved on. And then they play the music. The trailer makes it so much more compelling. It is a heck of a Dear Deirdre. Oh yeah, not to mention, if we're going Dear Deirdre, she found out that the woman her husband was having an affair with is now pregnant. And she didn't know that she was pregnant when he died, but now she's very much showing. They meet in a toilet at her place of work. And the woman smokes a cigarette, which really, really stressed me out. I was like, dude, you're like you're like third trimester. Don't smoke a cigarette. No. Hello, Aqua. We're talking about French movie. Very bleu. How do you feel about the European unification? It's a French baby will come out smoking a cigarette. I was like, don't do that. Not even what, like, you can have a glass of wine when you're pregnant, but you can't, no smoking. I remember I had a friend who was pregnant and she had her baby, and the second the baby came out, she was counting the hours until she could have a cigarette. European unification. No, not with Murica. This movie's from the 90s, so it was back when the European Union was just coming together. And the movie kind of reflects on that. I think it's quite timely. Because basically, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the movie is kind of indicating that the main character has lost everything and wants to disconnect and be isolated and alone. But everything in the movie is kind of like circling back round to, you can't exist alone in this world. You can't be isolated. And that is kind of connected to the fact that the European Union is forming around her, and France itself cannot stand alone on the continent, in the world. And it's kind of like almost reflecting on those ideals, like saying isolation is a bad thing. Yeah, just like imagine that they've not experienced that. That was 30 years later. I think I could, like, I don't know, but yeah. Ah, there you go. See, brain. Overthinking it, but yeah. Okay, just don't get dehydrated, okay? Boys. Actually, saying that, that's an interesting thing, because men can say, because it's like, no man is an island, but the movie's about a woman. Is it like from, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but like, is it that because she's a woman, she can't be alone? And France is feminine? Is it feminine? Can we link it? I think that the neat tying of a bow of her connecting with the guy at the end was stupid. I just don't like buy their relationship. I hate their relationship. He's like, I'm not gonna get into like a fratly like diatribe, okay? I'm not gonna rant. But I do think that he should have left her the fuck alone. She was grieving. But yeah, like the whole movie is basically people trying to reach out to her, and she's making choices where she ultimately does what the movie would consign to the right thing, and embraces those connections rather than ignores it. She doesn't ignore them. She's just a nice lady. That's the only kind of characterization that they kind of give her, that she's just a nice lady in the end. You know, even if everybody's an asshole around her and her husband was cheating on her and, you know, everything went horribly wrong, she's just she's a paragon of, I don't want to say femininity because that's kind of gross, but like she's ultimately she can't be alone. It's very feminine from a man writing it. I'm not saying like that women are actually like incapable of being isolated, but especially when dudes are trying to stalk them. But yeah, it's ultimately it's like the movie itself is supposed to represent liberty and freedom, and in the end it's like she has the choice, but and again that concerto keeps coming back to her whether or not she listens to it, and it just keeps playing like at various points in the movie, like as a reminder to her. And there's also like this camera trick or this editing trick where somebody will come to her and they'll ask her something or they'll say something to her, and the music will start to play, and you'll look at her face, it'll fade to black and then fade back into the scene, and then she'll start talking to the person. But it's like, I don't actually know what the purpose of that was. It's just, it felt very arty farty, but I feel like, you know, it's like in that moment, is she making the choice to embrace that connection when she could just discard it? Like, is the music, is it the connection, is it, you know, bringing us back to, you can't, yeah, it is. I mean, it's cathartic in the sense that everything's tied up and she's not alone, but I also, it's great, like it's one of those ones where I guess it's like, for me, the craft and the way that it's presented and the way that it makes me think and the way that it makes me feel, all these kind of complicated emotions are positive, like net positive overall, because a movie that like prompts this much conversation, this much discussion, this much thought is, for me, a good thing. I don't want to walk out of a movie and go, that happened. You know, like for me, it's like, okay, so I'm annoyed at the fact that she got with the guy in the end because he stalked her, but I also kind of am thinking, why? What's the connection? Why did all these things happen? And the craft itself and the way that it was presented gives me that food for thought, and you know, I respect that. Yeah, like you walking out of Arrival going, what the fuck was that? And then never wanting to watch it again. Yeah. Doogie just seems to physically bone. Yeah, well, this is it. And I think it comes back down to, because it's so artsy fartsy, they don't have conversation. No one has like I know, well, apart from maybe the stripper. But yeah. Did you watch it again? Still didn't like it. The music on Arrival is really good. I've only watched it once, so you've done better than me. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm just like reading back on, yeah, sure, I'm down for that. So you feel like the music highlights her emptiness? Because I feel like the musical moments are like her. It's like it's calling to her. It's like saying, "You're not alone. You are not alone. You are. Everything's connected." I hate my fringe today. Sorry, I keep playing with it. Maybe I should get a fringe fiddling counter back on. Because I feel like the music, yeah. Oh, what about Doogie? Oh, right, okay, the connection with the dude. Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, the only penis that matters is your happiness. I mean, can we just take a minute and think? Like Juliet Binoche, I can't say her name because it's embarrassing me now. How do we say her name? Hang on, I'm gonna listen to Google. Play it. Le Franche. No, that's just taking me to a page. I just want to hear it. Sorry, just yeah. How do we say her name? Where's the little? She's one of the most respected performers for the intelligence she's brought to her complex and varied roles. She delivers. She delivers every freaking time. She is a great actress. I just can't pronounce. I don't want to say her name wrong. She was in a Wim Wenders movie. Pronunciation. How to pronounce Juliette Binoche? Binoche? Say it. Just say it. Yeah, sure. Binoche. There you go. Binoche. I knew it was going to be that. I keep saying Binoche. Binoche. Okay, Juliette Binoche. I'm saying her name right. Okay. So, in the movie, there's a guy, and she is like, he's just there. He's just the closest penis to her. Like, Juliette Binoche is my point. She could have anyone. She could walk through Paris and she could have like anyone want to bang her. She's gorgeous. She's stunning in this movie. She could go look. She doesn't have to get stuck with that guy. Come on now. Yeah, I guess she, unlike the rest of the cast, she became aware of it. I guess it's her personal journey. I think it's supposed to be like her discovering whether or not she can be free. I don't know. I mean, let's just be real, okay? She's grieving. She's in a state of grief. Like, she's not the most, like, and I think a lot of people like the movie. I think that one of the draws of the movie is that she's grieving. It's supposed to be in Paris, yeah. All of the movies take place in Paris, as far as I'm aware. I mean, they may. Where did they film it? Hang on. It doesn't have a production part. Oh, here we go. Right. It doesn't say specifically where it was shot, but it's a Swiss company and a Polish company, along with a French company that made it. Of course, yeah, the Texas. Okay, that's what you were getting at. Yes, they're all connected. Anyway, so for the trilogy, they do have a couple of moments that kind of overlap. So there's Easter eggs in the white movie and the red movies where things happen like that overlap. So they're all taking place within the same space, is what I'm trying to get at. So I guess they all take place in Paris, Texas. Yeah, well, that's what you got to keep an eye out for. And if I'm going to be completely honest with you, right? This one kind of left me cold, weirdly enough. The middle one, I didn't like it. I don't like it. It was going for like the I can't remember what they were supposed to be. They're all like anti something. Like hang on. What are they supposed to be? Yeah, so Yeah, Roger Ebert said that the first movie is an anti-tragedy, second movie is an anti-comedy, and the third movie is an anti-romance. Anti, I don't know. In one of the movies, they invent a television that can be heard across a strip club. Real easy. So yeah, the middle one is the white one, and it's a comedy. It's supposed to be comedy. It's well, and I don't. It's got Julie Delpy in it, and I was like, yes, she's barely in it. Well, it's supposed to be a comedy. I really didn't. It wasn't my vibe. And then the third one's Red, and this is why I ended up coming back to this trilogy, and why I remember it fondly is the Red movie is really good. The third movie is like, I feel like I really jived with it. Like I'd probably like rank it like red, then blue, then white. Like that's how I feel about it. Some people prefer blue. No one likes white. I don't think anyone's gonna say it's their favorite. Um, but I really like the final movie. I think that the red one was definitely my favorite. I'm not even gonna tell you what happens in it, but and then obviously because it's the last one in the trilogy, the overlap and the connection between the three movies, you kind of get a nice, lovely thing where it ties up everything at the end. It's beautiful. It's like you watch it and you just feel like, mwah, beautiful. It's really good. It's worth it. Um, it's yeah. Weirdly enough, and I don't know if he said this just because I'm just clicking on pages now. According to Kieslowski, he only used the French ideals because French money funded the film. And he said if the money had been of a different nationality, we would have titled the films differently, or they might have had a different cultural connotation, but the films probably would have been the same. What do you take from that? I think that's bullshit. I just, what a load of shit. Yes. Yes, it's a Defenders team up a la Netflix's Bourne Marvel shows that everybody watched. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and the other one. Oh, is that Sonic? Okay, never mind. I went Marvel. Um, but yeah, it's it's definitely a trilogy worth picking up. It's definitely a trilogy worth watching. And I think, like I say, once you get to the end, it's so worth it. It feels like you've been on a journey, the journey of not really liking. Like you kind of like you're sad on the first one, you're kind of confused on the second one, and then the last one, I felt like, oh, well, that was delightful. And now I have like, yeah, kind of sensation of fond memories. They knew how to get me. The side characters, yeah. Yeah, well, like I said, I think when I was describing the movie earlier, I did say she comes across a bunch of NPCs, and that's what they felt like to me, like almost like just characters that turn up to. There's no like emotional. Again, I don't know if it's the tone of the film itself or if it's just because they're French and being artsy or whatever. But I do feel like the stripper neighbor is like just there. The guy that gives her the necklace, he's just there to give her the necklace, and and each NPC, as I'm saying, like they're just there to kind of connect with her, but also just to kind of frame the whole ultimate theme of the movie. KR Dizzle in the hizzle. Hello. You were thinking of James Bond. I want to know how that connects. I do. We're talking about a French movie. It's called Bleu. Somehow we're connecting it to James Bond. I'm into it. um, but yeah. So it's part of a trilogy that ultimately kind of is about the French ideals of the Revolution. And as I said, Juliette Binoche, which I've just learned today is how you pronounce her name, she's a great actress. There's a love interest, and ex who distributes necklaces like cattle brands to conquests. Vesper Lind with her knotted necklace. It's interesting. Yeah, it's there. Then she gives it to the guy. She just lets him keep it, doesn't she? Why would he steal it? Never mind. Anyway, if you can see, there's also another kind of item that's brought up. It's is it like a mobile or like a hanging thing? It's blue, and that's the only thing she takes from her house. Although I would have taken them pots and pans. They're all copper. They looked really good. Oh yeah, she takes that. That's kind of like a part of the movie. I have it as my background. I'm trying to get more profesh with my choices. She leaves the mattress. Yeah. Ain't no one want that mattress, not after what they did on it. Yeah. So again, Vesper was a mole with another lady. I know, but then the whole Vesper Lind thing, they kept twisting it right up until the last movie. Like, I get the whole, like, the first two movies, it was explained, but then they kind of just kept pulling the rug and they kept banging on about her. So I don't know if she was just giving them all the necklace. I don't know. I can never, like, did they retcon it? I don't know. The way they wanted to make her sympathetic in the end, but then they didn't, and then kept changing her mind. Yeah, it's just, yeah, they kept talking about her, and I don't know. I don't know if the necklace actually counts for anything. But let's talk about the downfall of James Bond. Wow. I want them to cast a black guy as James Bond. Or any person of colour. Remember? You liked her. She was in the Good Movie. Speaking of big money-making movies, just to step away from the sad one. Old Bond. Octogenarian Bond. See? She got... Did she? Brosnan's Last Hussar. Ooh, bringing Brosnan back would be like... I actually like that idea. Do that. Yeah, let's do that. I'm into that. Mamma Mia 3's coming out soon. It's in the can. They filmed it. It exists. I don't know how I feel about it. They're running out of ABBA songs. Anyway. February. Movie night. I'm into it. I love that idea. February movie night. Big blockbuster pop culture movies that I have forgotten to watch. How's that? Just pop culture moments that I've like effectively sidestepped and I should go back to. Tell me which ones I've missed. Tell me which ones I should watch. We're gonna make a list. I have a list, but we can obviously. I'm gonna edit it because I'm not sure. And Hope Fruitcake has given me a suggestion. So Transformers and like one of the Fast and Furious. Now I was gonna say 10, but then Hope Fruitcake has pointed out to me that 10 is one part of a two-parter. So it's stupid. He said no. Why? I mean, I know he's old. Did they try and like give him a boatload of money? I would imagine he'd say yes. Never mind. The Transformers, Fast and Furious. I don't care which one. Apparently, like 5 or 7 are the best ones. Back to the Future 2. Somebody said Braveheart. I'm kind of not. I don't remember why. Having to rely on his wits instead of it sounds so good. I like that. I also still think a person of color because tall, dark, and handsome. He could be black. I don't give a shit. Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Bad Boys. Bad Boys was the one that I haven't seen, but my husband thinks I should have seen. Yeah. Yeah, you could do both. I feel like Amazon have been talking about going to do a TV show or something in conjunction with releasing the movies, but I don't know. I don't think that's synergy that we necessarily need. We could do a James Bond if I haven't watched a James Bond. Like how? Because like IMDb only had like highly rated movies, popular movies. Hello, Katra. Hello. You've caught us at the end of the end, more or less the end. I've stopped talking about the French movie, and now, yeah, you did enjoy Blue. Reject its conclusion. If you're going to be reborn, do it like a phoenix rather than a thrall. Glad I watched it. Yeah, I think the general vibe with Blue is it makes you think, it makes you feel, it makes you consider things, and that's, I think, a sign of good art. Great art. Artistry. It doesn't bore you. I mean, it might bore you a bit, but it definitely inspires a conversation and thought and, just, all that stuff. So we're trying to, so the next kind of movie night is going to be big ass movies that I forgot to watch and never got round to. But like these are all highly rated movies. I just want hit movies that I haven't watched, About being a Dougal. I like that you call him Dougal. Oh, you know what? There's a couple that I haven't seen. Now I'm scrolling. Oh man, hang on. This isn't right. I don't want the top rated movies. IMDb highest grossing movies. Give me gross movies. I just want to see the top 1,000 highest grossing movies. No, don't you worry, bird. You know what? You come and hang out when you can. And you're here now. Debbie Does Dallas. What's Debbie Does? I want ones that I've heard of. No, not Human Centipede. No. Watched some of that. Okay, Fast and Furious 8. Fast and Furious 7. I think it's Fast and Furious 7, dudes. Avatar. I've seen Avatar. There's also a Blue movie. No shit. Right, so I've got Transformers. Endgame I've seen. I'm looking at the highest grossing list. I haven't seen the second Avatar, but I don't want to watch a movie that's 3 hours long. Can we kind of like, yeah, top grossing movies. Let's just scroll down. So, I've seen Endgame. You know what? No, I don't want to watch Harry Potter. I don't want to watch Harry Potter. Well, Minions. Minions is one of the highest grossing movies of all time. Should we do Minions? I don't want to watch Minions. So I've watched most of the Harry Potters, but I never watched the final two. Go figure. Oh, I'm gonna pirate it. I'm never gonna. Yeah, we could just make fun of it, I guess. It's a very high grosser. It's not on this list, man, Debbie. Have I seen Mortal Kombat? Yes. No. Maybe. Welcome to the jungle. Why are all... There's so many Despicable Me's on this list, man. Okay. Huh. Yeah. They're like a Wikipedia page. Hang on. Highest grossing movies. Adjusted for inflation. Thank you. Right. Let's have a look. The Ten Commandments. Gone with the Wind. Whoa. Okay. Ooh, I've never watched Gone with the Wind. It's nearly 4 hours long. So I probably won't. But that is the highest grossing movie. Dr. Zhivago. Why are all these movies 3 hours long? Jesus Christ. Jaws. I've never watched Jaws. I've never actually watched Jaws. Ah, Jaws. I'll put that on the list. I've never watched Jaws. Also never seen Jaws. There you go. That's a good one. That's quality. Independence Day. Never watched Independence Day. This is good. I'm getting somewhere now. Okay. What is Enter the Dragon? Fast Furious 7 is in there, so I'll have to add that to the list. I've seen The Godfather. Bruce Lee. Really? Enter the Dragon. Yeah. Highest grossing movie. Why not? Big pop culture moment. It's Bruce Lee's best film. It's adjusted for inflation, the 31st top rated movie. Its music is brilliant. Debbie Does Dallas. Starring Bambi Woods. Cheerleaders attempting to earn enough money to send the title character to Dallas, Texas to try out for the famous Texas Gargoyles. I'll tell you what. I'll find a theme where we can get Debbie Does Dallas in there. Keep it in your back pocket. We'll find a way to put it in a vote, okay? Not this time. Maybe another time. Keep Debbie on retainer. Right. Okay. Was that the OG Lion King or the new Lion King? That's bullshit. Huh. This is like a Chinese one that I've never heard of. Okay, I've got a list. You want me to watch porn? Okay, the theme can be softcore porn, I guess. If you really want me to. Okay, so I've got a list. I'll put something together. I'll cobble it together and we can, yeah. I've got some ideas. Barbed Wire. No, I'm not watching Pammy do that. Don't call me babe. I've seen Basic Instinct. Starship Troopers is a Verhoeven that I haven't watched. What else is porny? Oh, right. You're thinking of porny movies. Magic Mike's not porn. How dare you? He's just dancing his feelings and ripping his top off. You want to watch the Magic Mike? Let's watch the Magic Mike. Do you want to see? Magic Mike is not porn. Magic Mike is not porn. Hang on. Here's what you could have won. Oh, it just says for the girls. What the fuck is YouTube? Hang on, hang on, hang on. That's not Channing Tatum. What the fuck? Okay, what did your magic make? Avert your eyes if you're sensitive, I guess.
Star of the show, Mr. Magic, Mike.
I'm just gonna drink some wine and watch this. The lighting in these movies is terrible. Yeah, man. He's wearing knee pads. It's kind of... Wait, what? They cut it off for the best bit. They cut it off for the best bit. It's not porn. Behave. That's not porn. He's just a stripper. There you go, his top up, it's fine. So the vote was between that and the blue 3 colors. We could have watched that, but you all voted for the French movie. Yeah. Snow was more ripped than that. Dude, you guys, right. I've been watching Heated Rivalry, and if you want to watch, like, if you... It's quite pornographic. But also, like, you know what's really... Right, I'm gonna say this about Heated Rivalry, because, like, you didn't bring it up, but I brought it up because I just want to talk about it. The thing with Heated Rivalry is like everyone's going on about how it is porn on the internet, and to be fair, the first couple of episodes is very pornographic, but then episodes 3 and 4 happen, and then episodes 5 and 6, it's only 6 episodes, and by the time episode 5 and 6 happens, you're just so invested in their love, you don't care if they're having sex, you just want them to kiss and hold hands. What did she say? I don't think stripping's pornographic. The Cobra can do that dance. Wow, I hate my hair today. What's Kago's review of it? I mean, the further on you get, the less pornographic their sex is. They're more in love as it goes on. And it's beautiful. I'm saying it. Like, it starts off like, yeah. No, there is feelings. It's like, it's really sweet. I was like really invested in their love. And it's like, it starts out like a porno movie, and they meet in a hotel room, and then one of them's like, is this your first time with a man? And the other one's like, yeah. And then he's like, okay, let me show you what to do. And then they suck each other off, and it's beautiful, but it's also very like porno, like coded. It feels pornographic, but then as it goes on, they learn to they develop feelings for each other, and it's not pornographic, it's beautiful. because they're in love. So like, yeah, it starts out porny, but then it kind of like, yeah. There's not many. I don't read. Have you not looked at my reading channel? I don't read books about romance, to be honest. I'm like, I'll show you what book I'm reading right now. I've just finished the one about the War of the Roses. It wasn't very. I'm reading this one right now. You don't have to watch Heated Rivalry. It's for me. It's not for you. For women and gays. It just is. But yeah. Yeah, Heated Rivalry, it's good. I just loved it. It was really sweet. And it had one of like my favorite songs off my Spotify playlist. So you don't have to watch it. You don't have to enjoy it. But you have to respect that I found it beautiful. Watching those two gay boys fall in love. Did I look up? I'll Believe in Anything by Wolf Parade. It was like my university it was like I was obsessed with it at university. So I liked it before it was cool. Yeah. Was it playing? I'm gonna get DMCA for this. Yeah, this is a uni song. Definitive uni song. Takes me back. They name an episode after it. I was just crying. One Tree Hill. Anyway, like, I genuinely think if I'm being honest with you guys and myself, I definitely heard it on like a teen drama show. Like, it was definitely a song that they played in a TV show, and then I was like, I love it. And then I would, because that's what I did. I would watch the OC and then listen to the music from the OC afterwards. I was that nerd. I was like, what songs were they playing on the OC? Like, my personality was listening to music that I heard on TV shows for quite a while. The opening song for One Tree Hill, though. Wow. That is a uni song. But yeah, where were we? So we've got next month's all sorted out. We had a good chat about Blue. I think we did well. I think if it makes you want to, if anybody goes away and watches the other films in the trilogy, if only one of you does it, then that's nice. Yeah. I'm glad we can have these conversations. I'm glad that we can do this together. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely like I never watched One Tree Hill, and I'm grateful. Yeah, but they do good music. Those shows have really good music. But yeah, as I say, we're gonna step away from artsy fartsy. We're gonna do something big, blockbustery, and silly next month, and then we'll go back to artsy fartsy. I'll figure it out. We'll kind of like we'll keep a balance. We'll do different things each month, and the themes I'm hoping will be like keep people interested. I'm just grateful for White Chick. I've seen White Chicks. God help me, I've seen that movie. There was a period in my life where all of my friends and I would quote it to each other. Like, you know, when you just have a conversation based on quotes. I'm kind of glad that I can't remember any of them right now. On that bombshell. Mick Swirlsy on. I'm gonna go drop you off with him. I am tired. So, and he is playing Tetris with Cardcaptor Sakura. So I'm gonna drop you off with him because that's so cool. But yeah, thank you for joining me on movie night. I love doing these together. I really do. I am so tired too, dude. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good rest. It's like I say, I love doing these streams with you guys. So thank you so much for hanging out and sitting with me, listening to me ramble. I hope you enjoyed the new Ian Beale emote. Use it everywhere. But yeah. Yeah, if you've got some flights, it's definitely worth. I really like Red. But you know, like you've watched a movie that I've hyped up in a massive degree, and yeah, maybe I overhype things sometimes. We'll see. But I think if you watch all of them, then you get to the end of Red, you're like, it's a sense of relief more than anything. Anyway, but yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. I've actually only drank like half of it, so I'll finish this and go to bed, I think. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll see you on the weekend. It's probably going to be Saturday, I think, that we do night stream, do some speedrunning. The next casual stream, I promise, if I say I'm going to do a casual stream, I'm going to do MGS Delta. Keep in touch on the Discord. The Discord link is just up there. We are gonna catch up soon. I'm gonna do it. Oh, right, okay. Well, I'll make sure that you're here. Okay. Keep me posted on your travels then. Yeah. I don't know what's happening. We'll figure something out. We'll get the dates right. I'll put the poll up. Yeah. Take care. I need help, definitely. Save me. Enjoy the rest of your day. Stay awesome. I love you guys. You're so great. See you later.